Hello, this is Talamir and welcome to another repair video. We're working on quite an oldie. A customer has requested for me to go and do a screen replacement on this really beaten up looking Samsung Galaxy S4. As you can see, the frame itself, I mean, it doesn't affect the functionality of the phone, but it's pretty beat up. But it does turn on. I have tested to make sure that I can get at least some charge sounds coming out of it, which is a good indicator that it is at least to some degree functional. I have never done a screen replacement on this particular model before, but I have done replacements on similar models that look relatively similar to this one. Like, I think it's the J1. The Samsung Galaxy J1 looks a little bit similar and probably is going to be just as annoying to replace this as it was for that one. Likely the screen is going to delaminate and it's going to be a lot of annoyance. I might even want to put on some gloves for some extra protection against glass shards. Well, I got the screws out. Now I got to remember how to get this all apart. Maybe this whole panel comes up. So here's the new screen. It doesn't have any bezel around it. I wonder if this whole thing just pops up. It does. Now, to be honest with you, this one I'm not really, it's not really worth the repair for this one. I told the customer I'd be willing to do it for a relatively inexpensive price, only because what it would have cost to do this repair would have been not worth it for the customer. Okay, so right here, it's the same thing as right here. So this is the screen. Pop that up. Now it's just a question of how to get the screen separated from the frame, and I'm wondering whether or not I should just outright no, I don't think I need to. I was thinking of removing everything, but I don't think it's needed. I have a feeling that the motherboard itself does need to come up. Otherwise, this probably is not going to fit down that crevice. Vaguely similar to the J1, but the J1 wasn't nearly as easy to get into. There we go. Easy enough. No water damage either. That's wonderful to see. I think that right there, I think that's the back. I think it's this chip right here. I think the answer at this point is a heat gun. Once I get this part up to temperature, I'm going to push on that chip and we're going to push that screen out. At least, let's see if that does the trick. Push from this side and just see what it's doing. It's pushing up. Okay, that's good. Maybe I can get like a nail underneath there, or maybe my razor blade. So while I'm pushing down, like right here, like this. Man, this is annoying to deal with. While I'm pushing down, I can get the blade underneath. That. Okay, from here I could try putting some isopropyl alcohol on down there, maybe, you know? Wonder if that'll help. I can just see it running through the screen instead. That's kind of funny. Well, here's hoping this works. Alright, that's it. There's two things I'm going to do here. Two things. No, I was thinking of putting some tape across the screen, some packing tape, just to keep the glass in place, but I don't think that's going to happen. Instead, I'm just going to throw on some eye protection, because there's enough glass for that. And some eye protection, some gloves and some eye protection. There we go. I heat this back up. You know, I think I'm going to drop a little alcohol right here, right around that earpiece. Just help it along some. Most of the glass has fallen off around this. You can see it looks more like skin. Ugh. It's more like skin than it does part of a screen. Getting there. I can see behind the screen now. don't think I need my blade anymore. I can just use a beautiful. So this is just the digitizer. It's not the screen. I'm actually tearing the digitizer off right now from the base there. I gotta be careful at the bottom. I don't want to rip those buttons. Yeah, I'm gonna try heating it up. Then I can maybe use the tweezers to tease them off. Get right here, work it along. Come on. There we go. Got the digitizer off. Right in the garbage. So you can see, I don't know if you can see it, there's glass shards all over my worktop here. The screen is obviously, as you can clearly see, still in place. I think the screen itself has been glued in. I'll show you what I'm doing here. I've got the other part of the screen apart, so this is just the backing, and it's all glued down. People say that the old phones were so much easier to work on, but you know what? I completely and totally disagree with them. This is not easy. Far easier to do work on the newer screens. I think I'm gonna have to put some protective tape over that, because this goes right across there, and I don't see any plates or anything. Okay, let's get this adhesive off. So I think I can actually make a new adhesive seal for this. Shouldn't be a problem, except around here. I'm gonna see if I can just clean it up. And the reason why is because of just how finite that area is. It's just it's a bit on the more delicate side of things. So as long as there isn't any glass shards in there, I think I should be okay. I'm just gonna take a swab across it because it's just too delicate of an area. You got a lot of sensors, you got the earpiece itself, and I don't think that I can cut my my adhesive well enough to fit this particular area. Well, look at that. Frame is actually slightly cracked right there. The new screen and adhesive will hold that all together. It's just a little disappointing to see. All right, I gotta clean up this desk before I can put that screen in, because this is just, ugh. It's bad looking. I'm gonna clean this up as well. I don't think it makes any difference. It does make me feel good. Now you can see clearly it says right on the screen, please test the screen before you remove the adhesive or install the phone. No returns after installation. This makes sense. I mean, if you saw how hard it was to get that screen out. If I get this fully installed and the screen's not working, no matter what I say to them, even if it was completely fried, they wouldn't be able to test the screen if I took it back out. Back together, just gotta toss that battery in and see if it turns on. Now, if you remember back to this little guy right here, that's your power button right there. I'm gonna use the tweezers to push on that button. You see that? That's a working screen. And as you can see, that's a working phone. I'm gonna take the battery out. Let's put in some adhesive. First off, we're gonna go and put a new seal across there. All right, new seal made. Just used a razor blade to cut around the excess. I think that did a pretty good job. Now I don't see any adhesive along here. I really am gonna have to put in my own. So that's this stuff here. Considering this is a pull, I know for sure that this is a refurbished screen. I find it quite interesting how good of a job they did in taking the screen out. It could not have been an easy job. They must have figured out a way to do this. This is so tedious. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it this way in the future. I might just put down some filler glue next time and be done with it. Okay, that's about as good as I can do here. We got little chunks along here. I'm considering putting a little bit of glue down just to hold it in place, to be honest. Maybe a small strip of adhesive like right across here. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because the last time that I worked on a phone like this, it was a terrible headache trying to get that little bit there aligned. It just it just wouldn't line up, and I partially destroyed the screen in the process. It would have saved me a lot of headaches if I did exactly what I'm currently doing right now. It's a tiny amount of adhesive in place to keep this little board from moving all over the place. Doesn't need to be much, just a little. I think that's good. There's one off. So I'm just lining it up with that earpiece grill at the top. I think that did it. The grill is slightly misaligned. I think I know why. Okay, it's installed. I am nervous, to say the least. All those connectors are in, put the antenna in. Before I put all the other screws in, one final test, even though at this point, if it doesn't work, it's a loss. That's still working, guys. That is still working. Awesome. Okay, there's no reason that it shouldn't. That turned out so surprisingly well. I am happy with that. All right, that's all together and that's done. Theoretically, we'll do one final test before calling it truly done. Okay. I wish this speaker grill was over a bit more. Now, if the phone was a bit nicer looking than it is in its current form, I'd be quite disappointed with the gap that I've got here. I've got a very tiny amount of a gap on that side, and there isn't much I can do about it. This side's good. It's flush. I don't understand why it happened on that side where it's just a speck lower all the way along. That's all for this video. If you like the video, please do leave a like, and if you want to see more of my stuff, subscribe. We'll see you guys all in another video. Bye.